Order. Question number 8, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of State Services and asks, what was the total cost of the Rebstock inquiry into the leaking of internal documents from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and how much of that was paid to Paula Rebstock?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Chris Finlayson.
On behalf of the Minister of State Services, I am advised that the cost to the State Services Commission of the inquiry is $513,434.95, including litigation costs. Of this total, $208,916.79 has been paid to Paula Rebstock.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Maryan Street.
To the Minister, does he consider the report to have been robust and worth the expenditure?
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, it's important to note that the inquiry was initiated not by ministers but by the Commissioner in accordance with Section 8 of the State Sector Act. As to whether the findings were robust, yes, I believe they were, because it confirmed that the leak had come from a former Labour Party staffer working for the State Services Commission. It found that person X had the papers, that person X scanned the papers of the exact same size as the cabinet papers when they were in his possession. Person X couldn't explain what he scanned or why it was saved into the system, and when asked, did you give Cabinet Committee papers to someone who wasn't authorised to receive them, he responded, I don't know.
Supplementary.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Honourable Maryan Street.
To the Minister, have any issues of natural justice or other shortcomings in the report been raised with him, given a QC's opinion that the report is, quote, is quite unfair from a legal perspective, contains numerous flaws, contains what we see as basic errors of fact, is often misleading, has omissions, and was flawed and unjust, unquote?
On behalf of the Minister, there have been issues which have been aired in public on those particular points, which could be the subject of judicial review, and I'm sure the Attorney-General would feel that it would be inappropriate to answer those questions. But on the core issue about politicisation of the civil service by the Labour Party, the report is very robust indeed.
Point of order.
Point of order, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table a memorandum from Bruce Corkle QC to Derek Leask, dated 8th of November 2013, which contains all of those quotations I just mentioned to the House.
Order, I think
speaking to the point of order,
just to clarify,
it would appear on the face of it she is leaking a document which is subject to legal professional privilege. She would at least have to say in this House that Mr Leask gives her permission to do so.
Speaking to the point of order,
for the benefit of the House, before I put the leave to table this memorandum, has Mr Leask given his authority for it to be tabled?
Speaking to the point of order, Mr Speaker, on the 27th of January this year, Mr Leask released a public statement, and attached to it was the memorandum from Bruce Corkle QC.
Well then, if it's been released that publicly, I fail to see why it's necessary for it to be tabled in the House tonight.
Point of order, Mr Speaker, it is not available publicly in the common understanding of things. It has been reported in the media, but it has not been made publicly available to members.
The quickest way of moving this forward is leave is sought to table a memorandum from a solicitor whose name I've now forgotten, but it concerns Mr Derek Leask. Is there any objection to that memorandum being tabled? Yes, there is.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Why was the evidence presented to the Rebstock inquiry by the prestigious senior civil servant Sir Martin Weavers that communications from senior heads of mission to relevant departments, chief executives and even ministers was common practice, appropriate and even important, ignored by Paula Rebstock when the reputations and careers of two senior officials have been curtailed or seriously compromised through unfounded accusations in her report?
Honourable Chris Finlayson.
On behalf of the Minister, it's important to note, as I said earlier, that this was an investigation initiated by the Commissioner. It was an independent inquiry. The findings were independent. It would be inappropriate to start commenting on it. If people have a grievance, then they can always seek judicial review.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave to table the statement by Sir Martin Weavers, tabled to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade investigation, dated 12th of February 2013.
Leave us sought to table the statement by Sir Martin Weavers to that inquiry. Is there any objection? There is objection. Supplementary question, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Does the Minister uphold the need for free and frank advice from civil servants? And if so, how does he reconcile the Rebstock report and its chilling impact on senior public officials throughout the public service with that fundamental principle? And does he still believe the report is worth the money spent on it?
On behalf of the Minister, yes, indeed, I do. And I also uphold the core principle that we have an independent civil service, and it would be really good if the Labour Party could talk to its activists and tell them not to politicise the civil service and use TVNZ headquarters as campaign headquarters, because it's their disgraceful behaviour that has caused this problem.
Question number 9, Dr. Paul Hutchinson.